we'd be driving and there'd be like 7 tons just full of like 30 dudes all pointing AKs and like 50 cals at me.
Yeah.
Just me. Like,
right.
like
it's like I just wanted AC conditioner.
Yeah, it was
man.
like, hey man, they want you to stop. It's like, we ain't stopping.
Millie makes songs, hey, I made this one. Jerry builds bikes and they go real fast. They're mental defectives.
Welcome to the Mental Defectives Podcast, a show where we interview interesting individuals with a focus on addiction and mental health. I'm your host, Millie Graham. That's Millie if you know me, Mr. Graham if you know me. Joined, as always, by the Heath Kirchart of Harleys, the gearhead with the heart of gold. It's Mr. Jerry with a G.
I'm glad to be here.
And today...
Whoa. Tap on the brakes, just like you should tap that like and subscribe button if you dig what we do.
And follow us on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, and all that good stuff. Today, we have a very special guest. He's a barber, biker, badass, dogfather, veteran, glutton for punishment, providing the cleanest lineups this side of the Mississippi. It's your favorite barber's favorite barber. Please welcome Ethan.
What's up, y'all?
Ethan, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good.
Man?
How are you guys?
Doing good, man.
Good.
Thank you for being here. Yeah. Now, first off, you are responsible for Jerry's haircuts. Is this correct?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
For our YouTube viewers, Jerry, can we get a hat reveal, please?
Oh yeah,
hair
it's hat hair right now, but
Listen,
yeah,
that's my struggle. He like comes in, always the hat, always the helmet. It's like,
I know.
I've been preaching to him. But
Get it together.
I
bro.
know.
God
I
damn.
fucked him all the way up.
disrespect.
Back when I had that long hair, I came in and I saw the look on your face. You're like, motherfucker.
dude, I was like, I was the one that got to cut it all off. And
Oh,
that was
nice.
glorious. Like, it was hilarious. Yeah, it was, but I didn't know if he like told his girl or not. So I was just like, fuck, like,
I didn't.
He didn't tell me. He
No,
didn't tell
really?
me.
I didn't tell anybody.
So
Ethan was the only one that knew.
Okay. Even if you're a longtime mental defective, you're not going to know about this.
Nope.
Jerry used to look like Jesus. He had like shoulder length hair. And then right before the first episode, you showed up. And
it was
just
all chopped
all
off.
gone.
Dude.
All gone. And now we've got the guy responsible for it right here.
Well, he put it on his Instagram story, and I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it. So I just, I was like, I'm in there.
Damn.
Anyway.
First cut, I realized it was a mistake. So, he looked better, but we're here, man.
Yeah, we're here.
There's no going back.
Right.
Ethan, where are you from?
I am from the hard streets of Reynoldsburg, Ohio.
Nice.
Mm,
East
yeah.
side. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The Berg.
And you were in the military as well, correct?
I was in the United States Marine Corps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. It's I think what was it? 2012 to 2016. I went to Catholic school for 13 years, and then a week later went to boot camp. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
it explains all the face tattoos now. But yeah, so right
Was military something like, is that in your family background, or that was like a product of being crammed through Catholic school for so long? Because that's me and Jerry both did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like all the above, really. I noticed that like everybody was working so hard, like all those years to be in like a cool college, all this stuff. And it's like, I realized like no one's joining the military. We all remember 9/11. So,
Yes.
I had to answer the call. So, no, but it was cool to just be the one to like, the only one to join, and the pent up aggression. I was like a very angry kid. And then like, weirdly enough, yeah, like my family, all my grandfathers, my dad, like, they're all military as well, but I'm the first like Marine. I had to be different, but
Right.
Fair.
Is that what attracted you to the Marines? Was just like, I want to serve, but I want to do something like different.
100%. I was like, what's like the most badass thing like currently as a 17-year-old I could do? And I just thought they were like the best branch, still do. But yeah,
Hoorah.
right.
Am I allowed to say that as a civilian?
Yeah, I think so. I'll look it up. If not,
We'll strike that. I'm striking that from the record.
Right.
like, what's the rules, man?
Yeah.
And then how long? So you do boot camp, and then you do like Marine boot camp, or you do?
Yeah. So basically, it's like Marine boot camp's known to be like the longest and hardest because like 3 months straight, you don't get any like cell phones or anything, and like you're in the swamp of North Carolina or South Carolina, and then yeah, so it's 3 months there, and then once you graduate, you hop on a bus and instantly takes you to like the specialty school that you're gonna learn about, and then after that into the fleet, and that like starts your whole career basically. So
Damn.
yeah.
What was your specialty?
So basically, like, it was like combat engineer, and then in that kind of section, they have like thousands of things, like bridge builders, explosives, like bulk fuel, all that stuff. So I started off as like bulk fuel, which was just like building fuel sites, whatever, which was like pretty chill. I was like, that sucks. I totally signed up to be a firefighter, but they lost my paperwork.
Lame.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought that was lame until I got deployed and realized that like I was also gonna fall into the other roles of a combat engineer. So like that was fun being attached to a unit that wasn't mine to, kind of build up, and it was cool. I got to do like explosives and
Oh hell yeah.
yeah, I was like the nerd with the metal detector trying to find IDs in the sand and all that
wild.
stuff. Yeah, but
That's
like
wild.
the fun thing they used to say is like you never know if you have like a bad day though, right? In that job, like you'll never know. So it's like it's all
You
good.
get one bad day, no more.
Exactly. So it's all good,
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where'd you get deployed to first?
Yeah. So first off, I was like Kuwait, which everyone laughs at because you're like, dude, that's like I think they have like a subway there type of shit. You're like, all right, whatever. But then what they didn't tell you is like they picked a few other Marines off that base. And then the job was to reopen a base near Fallujah, Iraq, that's where we went in the very beginning of 9/11. Like that's the first kind of thing we did. And it's very notorious in the Marine Corps culture because of like just all the lives we lost and all this stuff. So eventually like we battled all that, blah, blah, we got out and then blew up that site. So then they picked a couple people to drop in a helicopter, build that site real fast. That way we have it to go back to Fallujah. So it was a very interesting time, kind of like just dropping off. And it's like, I don't know if I said like, Iraq. Sorry. So I was in Kuwait and they're like, all right, we're going to Iraq, all this stuff. And I was surprised I got picked as like one of the guys, but it was cool because I was like a NCO at the time, which means I have like a couple people under me and a team. And all that stuff, so it was very unique. As like a 20-year-old, it's pretty wild. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
When does the landmine detecting come in, and who do you piss off to have to get that job?
Yeah, so like that's the thing. I don't blame anybody because I was a shithead. Like I was fighting with everybody. Like I was like, you don't say no in the military, but I like found ways. So it was just like, so like if I wasn't doing that, I was filling sandbags and like stuff like that. I'm proud of it though. But yeah, so like it's cool because like situations like when we first got off the helicopter, it's like what they'll do is they'll put IDs everywhere at our old bases. If we want to retake them, then we'll just walk on and get blown up and all this crazy stuff. So it's like we basically have to drop from the helicopter and then do our whole radius searches, and it takes hours kind of doing like a whole circle and then stepping and then doing the whole circle. So it's just very like,
meticulous.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have an option not to be because
You can't screw that up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like another like thing is like if you're just driving out of the wire means like, you're stepping off base, anything could happen, like the Wild West basically.
Okay.
And when you're like riding on roads there, you should be kind of trained to look for signs. Like maybe there's like a little plastic bag or something. You're like, that's hiding something. And it goes all in, there's like remote detonations, like pressure, and then super smart. So like you'll drive over pressure plate, it'll be timed and then like hit somebody way back there. So it's just like, you got to know your stuff.
Damn.
Yeah. Jeez.
Do you know when you've run over a pressure plate and then you're radioing like the Jeep like 5 car lengths behind you, like
watch
sorry,
out.
Yeah,
you guys
like
might
you're
blow up.
screwed.
Like,
That, not me personally. I've heard of one story where a driver, I think it's rare because like it probably doesn't make any noise, but
Sure.
I think I heard one story where a driver literally stopped his front tire on it and like didn't move. And
Sure.
I don't know the end of that story, but I guess like somebody told it, so everyone's good. I don't know.
The Mental Defectives podcast is brought to you by Milligram's new EP, More is Always Better. 6 electrifying tracks available on all streaming platforms.
Did you see any like IED like actively like explode like on the sides or?
Yeah, so I did. They basically we were all good on base. They didn't set up anything, but what they did was maybe they thought that we were gonna come in from the roads because like probably like half a mile down there's definitely, you know, IEDs and
That close to the base?
yeah, and we found out by like them sending mortars over, missing and hitting their own stuff. So it's just like, all right, like you told us where everything is,
Where it's at.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So like, we've seen just some off in the distance. Thank God, like nobody got hurt during my rotation with IEDs. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Damn, and I mean, it makes sense because they know where the base is, and they know people are entering and exiting the base. So I'm going to put all the IEDs around the base.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like, you know, like I hear people talk down on like Middle Eastern people, but like they're so smart and intelligent, and like, you know, it's like, yeah, they're like right up there with us, man. It's they like know our movements and all that stuff. So pretty wild.
Yeah. And then when you're going off base, like what kind of like day, like how, like is this once a day you're leaving the base to do something, once a week? Like what are you doing when you leave the base?
So my rotation, like we were in charge of building the thing, right? And then I think like 2 rotations after that was in charge of like going over there, which I don't think like went too bad at all. But so like they sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so basically we would be like we try to set up communications with like, we try to work with like the Iraqi army all the time, and like we would pick up contractors in Fallujah that had like bulldozers and stuff like that. So like basically when we were out of the wire, it was either driving and like I think like a mile or two to our airfield just to like pick up people, or go to their like bombed out like cities and find like air conditioners and like just scavenge shit. It was really weird. But I probably shouldn't be saying this, but the one of the main reasons why we left too was because Iraq was a dry country, and my staff sergeant at the time like got good with a guy who like made moonshine, and he had a drinking problem. So I'd be the one where he'd like wake up at 3 a.m. He's like, Bolger, like drive the Humvee and like blah blah blah. So like we would hop in the Humvee, tell the guards some weird shit, and then like pick up his booze. He'd be drinking with him. I would be drinking too. But then like, and yeah, all that, like we got away with it forever until the last week where he, we got lost. He like definitely got lost, and he slipped down the ravine we dig to put our shit. And
oh no, your shit pit. Literal shit.
So, yeah. So so you know, drunk staff sergeant falling down a hill. I want to say it's like at least 7 feet. You know, like yeah. So yeah. So
fuck that.
Covered in shit.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good time. Everybody had questions on like why. You know. Like,
right.
Yeah. So we made it, but yeah. Yep.
That's wild that they had to, that they sent you out to like scavenge for things, and like they're it like, here's your resources, man, figure this shit out.
Right.
Like
yeah, it that story alone is actually what got me almost killed the most. Like, you know, I have all the stories of like mortars and fuck whatever, but it's like that because we would go into a town and like steal some air conditioners or something, and it'll just be that staff sergeant driving the Humvee, and then me in the back of it, like with the cloth cape.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then like some local would tell the army that somebody's stealing something, and then like we'd be driving, and there'd be like 7 tons just full of like 30 dudes all pointing AKs and like 50 cals at me.
Yeah.
Just me. Like
right.
like
it's like I just want an AC conditioner.
Yeah, it
man.
was like, hey man, they want you to stop. It's like, we ain't stopping.
No.
Like, so just situations like that was insane. But the other part was like I got to explore all the airfields and the underground bunkers of Saddam's like stuff, and that's where we got most of the like thing. But it's like, man, like there's literally like blasts things where it's like outlines of people on the wall and like
That's so
blood
wild.
marks where like people got it was
Yeah, so
crazy.
wild.
And that was still there like that many years after Saddam?
Yeah, dude, there's like thousands of airplanes where it's like if it was in America, people would literally grab those and just like I'm sure you just have to do one thing to fix it and like
Oh, sure.
it's there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all there.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So wild.
Damn.
So different.
That's crazy. So you're like going outside the wire in a 2-man crew to get an air conditioning unit, and like the military's pulling up on you with 50 cals.
Dude.
There's IEDs everywhere.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what I gotta do to fight for America, boys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All American, man.
Damn.
One scrap piece at a time. Yeah.
Fucking America, dude.
And over
Hell
here
yeah.
we're just getting catalytic converters.
Right. I'm
like the
dumpster
whole-
diving
yeah.
for copper.
Was that you guys? Like
Yeah,
I got my
yeah,
catalytic converter
yes.
stolen.
How do you think that's how we fund this whole podcast?
Absolutely.
How long were you over there?
I was over there for 11 months full. Yeah. 11 months. And it's like the best part of the whole story was like we'll go back to my base in America. It was just a normal day and like the officer was like, we're going to have a paintball tournament. And I like, that's it. And like, I end up just whooping everybody's ass because whatever. And then like, and I'm like standing there. I'm just like, yeah. And I'm like shooting off rounds. Like, you're getting deployed. He's like, congratulations. Like, all right, I'll see you guys later. Like, I'm gonna go pack my bag.
Damn. And it's just that fast of like,
Like,
Yeah, and then you
yep,
just
here's the one.
instantly get orders to a unit you've never met before in the Mojave Desert, and you guys just like, so for like 7 months, you guys are just together in the desert, and you see what operates and what you have to do. So
Sure. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, that's wild.
Was it 11 months all like consecutively, or was that like
all together.
all
Yeah.
together? Okay, so it's like multiple tours.
So like
Or do they even call it that if it's not like an active war zone?
So like tours, like I've always counted them as just like you leave America and then whatever you gotta do and then come back to America. So I said like one tour, even though if like I like over there I went to like Kuwait, Iraq, Egypt, Baghdad, all the surrounding places. So but like it's just one tour really. But
Okay.
yeah.
Damn.
So what was it like when they were like, all right, you're done? Like, did you have an end in sight, or was it just kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
you
like
did
with-
what you need to do?
Like
We're
leave.
done.
You talking about like the whole military? Like just getting out of the military?
Oh,
Or,
no,
like-
no, I'm talking about coming back home.
Oh, that was like frustrating. Well, because like it was like you build something and then like basically within a week, just a whole new like the same guy that has your job, but like stationed in Japan or something, and like just takes you over. So they just shadow you for like a week, and you're just like, this is what you do, and then like see you later. Weird story. I actually cut somebody's hair at the barbershop, and he was one of the dudes in Iraq. I was like,
no
"I'll see you
shit."
later." Yeah, like we never even talked about us being in Ohio or nothing, but
Yeah.
it's like, that's weird.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you're over there on the base, like you were talking about like mortars and stuff, like is that like a nightly occurrence? Like you're hearing those? They're like,
Yeah.
is it like, can you like, are you like rocking in your bunk? Like, oh my God, the fucking.
Well, so like basically, yeah, like they did that like constantly. The only cool part about it is like I think each like bomb that drops, the base is hazard pay. I think you get like $300 to $500 more each.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm like, cool, whatever. But yeah, like so like yeah, they use those a lot, and they would put fun stuff in them too, like chlorine gas or like shrapnel.
Damn.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, and they knew what they were doing because like it was kind of messed up, but they would watch the contractors that did our bulldozing and stuff like leave base and go to their house, and then they would go to their family and be like, you better tell us where everything is, or like you're gonna get punched. It was probably way worse than that, but
Right.
then they would literally just tell them, like all the coordinates to like where we eat, where our helicopters are, all this stuff. So like
Yeah.
it just got so specific, and then like the mortars with the shrapnel would blow up our helicopter tires and just make it annoying. But also it like showed who has been there for a very long time. Because it's like when you're new in the mortise job, you're like running to the little concrete. Like we just have these concrete things that are literally this big, and like you just jam pack in it.
Yeah.
But it's so like you see all the new people like for the first couple months just run in there, and then like the old dogs like. You wouldn't even leave bed, dude. You just like, I'm not getting up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you're gonna hit me, like you're gonna hit me, dude.
Right.
Yeah, like so, you know, you get used to it, and yeah.
Damn. Okay, so you finish this 11 months, and then what? Then you get like the option to like renew your contract, or
Yeah. So like when I got done with that deployment, I only had like 7 to 8 more months left in my whole 4-year term. So it just worked out perfect because I came back with like just feeling like I had a huge dick and just like you can't tell me what to do because like all the like everybody hired me didn't have the ribbons and stuff. So it was like shut up. So they're like we can't do this. So they like changed my orders to work at the gym, which was awesome because like then so then I became the like I climbed the ranks there just in like a month and a half and became the NCOIC, which is the dude in charge of everybody. So I'm just like, joke's on you, bro. Like I'm making my own schedule where I'm waking up at noon like in the Marine Corps. It was like fuck you guys. So and then like so it was fun, and then I got to like relax a little bit. That helped me kind of get ready because I like saw the younger Marines that was under my charge, and I really let them like chill the fuck out and like be super chill and just so it was good. They just got rid of me and I was happy they did, and just worked out and got out.
So it's almost like the what's the ribbons?
So like it's basically like Pokemon, man. It's like everybody's job in there is to collect them all basically, and it's like and you can just tell what people have been through with those ribbons, like certain things. So it's like, you know, it's like, oh, he went to like, he was in this campaign, or like he fucking killed a lot of people, or like, you know, just shit like that. So it's like, yeah, it's all a game and like who's who. So like it gets really messed up when a low rank is all stacked out and then like a high rank isn't, because you're just like, fuck,
you're a high rank, but you didn't do shit.
But you didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's like, you know, very blurred line.
Sure.
It sounds like the job at the gym is almost like a good kind of like halfway point between like actively like going outside the wire and like mortars and stuff to like, okay, now I'm chilling before I re-enter like civilian life. Like what was that like coming back to the States and not having to deal with that kind of stuff?
I think like it was a little hard for me just because like, you know, even though I got like PCS to the gym, I wasn't around anybody that just went through like what I just did. So it was like a very extreme thing where your body's just 24/7 on guard and craziness, and then like the easiest fucking thing. So it's just like, I think that was the pillar on like me creating bad coping mechanisms, because I just kind of had to like just come and be like, yeah, that happened, you know, move on, like whatever. It was like I definitely needed that. I don't think I would have listened to somebody, you know, at that time. But yeah, it was very like lonely and just telling. I'm just like, okay, this is probably what civilian life is. Just nobody giving a fuck where you're at, you know, because like in the Marine Corps, like everybody knows where you are exactly, and everything's timed, and you just know everything. So
Right.
yeah, it was very nerve wracking. They do very little to, you know, transition Marines into the civilian life. So
It's got to feel like almost like very isolating of like, you know, I come back, I've seen and experienced and done all this shit, and then like 99% of the population has no idea. And then like even like you're walking down the street, you could walk past another Marine and maybe you don't even realize it. Like
exactly, yeah, and especially how I look too is like, I was like, this dude's stolen valor, fuck this guy. But it's like,
is that something that's you run into before?
Oh yeah, dude. Like I'll definitely be like, we'll even take it to the simplest example where I walked into the Dayton Air Force Museum. Veterans are free, right?
Yeah.
It's all these old guys just like you didn't serve. I'm like, yeah, I did. And then I was trying to be funny. It's like, what war? I'm like, Vietnam. It's like, I was like, get out of here. They're like, no, I'm kidding. But, you know, like,
right.
I have to like show them my military ID, all this shit. And then, yeah, just situations where I'll hear this dude lie at the bar about slaying bodies. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know, and he's like, you can't talk to a service member like that. It's a good time. But
when did the face tattoos come in? I can't imagine the Marines are cool with that.
yeah, no. So I basically had everything except for like I had some on my legs, but I had my sleeves. And
in the military,
yeah. They I actually got grandfathered in because when I first got them, they were like they changed the rules all the time. But yeah, so I had those, and then I think literally like a year out of being out of the military, I was like, yeah. Face. No, I think I did my hands first, like half a year out, and then then all this. So
the progression of things.
Yeah. You know?
My wife won't let me tattoo my hands.
Dude, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
I finally got Jen to let me do my hand. Yeah, she won't ever let me do my neck though.
Until you
we'll
do.
see.
Until I do. Until I come home with it, right?
Tune in 10 episodes from now. Jerry's got a whole fucking throat piece.
I also feel bad. Your girlfriend's really nice. I don't.
My wife now.
Oh, dude.
I know you always
That's
think
right.
we're still.
Dude.
Yeah.
Congrats,
we're married
by the way.
now.
Did I say congrats?
You did.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably say it next haircut too.
Okay, so talk more about that transition, like getting out of the military. Was it like, I don't know. I feel like we see it one way in movies where it's like the grizzled veteran comes home and it's like beats his wife and it's like no one understands me.
Right. Yeah,
and they like are drinking and crazy out of control. But I've got to imagine that's like not how it is for everyone. Like, is it more subtle? Is it like what kind of things did you deal with?
So basically, I did go home and drink and start beating my wife. And no, I'm just kidding. So basically, like, this is another weird thing, but I probably did the most, like, my biggest drug usage was probably in the Marine Corps as well. I was stationed in San Diego when I wasn't deployed.
Okay, I was going to say, there's no way you were getting drugs in Fallujah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, opium.
Wow.
They used to put it in their dip and cigarettes we used to trade, but might not want to put that in. I don't know, but
you're in San Diego.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I was there for like 3.5 years, and I've fell into a very rough crowd, and decided to stay there after I got out, and decided to go that route with my my feelings. So it wasn't too good. You go with the isolation, and they really just like one day you just drive off a base, and that's it, so it's like, now what, and it's, I want to say, like, I feel like I just got my shit together like 2 years ago with it. It's like, I understand people walking around like just with something on their shoulder, they're angry as hell, like, just projecting, because they're just like, what the fuck did I just, like, what was that, and it's like, you're just so young and all this stuff. So it definitely created a good story for sure. But yeah, I got out, and I think I spent like three more years there. Just waking up and just working at a tattoo shop and doing blow and just day in, day out. And then like had a couple other friends that were from Tijuana over there, and that got cool. And then like and then I fell into a weird thing in LA too, and so like it took me a very long time to be like, wow, like nothing's getting better in my life, like what is going on? So got sunk in that hole for a bit, and then eventually moved to Washington State. So yeah.
There's so many parallels between, like, I feel like stuff like Jerry and I have been through. It's like you go through, I'm thinking like a long-term treatment.
Yeah.
And you have such a regimented, every day is schedule. You're accounted for. You know what everybody's doing. You can relate to everyone there. And then one day you graduate, or you're discharged or whatever. It's like, see ya.
Yeah.
Like, here's your shit. Take it easy.
I'm an adult. Like, okay.
And it's like spending like super formative, like you said, like 18 to 22 or whatever, like in this highly regimented thing. And then it's just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like it's wild that
figure
there's,
it out.
there's no like
crazy. Yeah.
not exit interview, but I don't know, like some like weekly thing you
Well,
would go
some, like,
to or
yeah,
I don't know.
some sort of, you know, aftercare.
Right. Or like a
Aftercare.
checkups or you know,
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
They the Mothers of America is a beautiful organization. It's twisted and messed up. But basically it's like all these moms got together and was just like, we need to make sure these guys are doing good. And it even starts at boot camp, right? So it's like one person will show up one day and just interview one person. And then they're from Mothers of America and like you get dragged into the closet from your DI before they come and like, you shut the fuck up, you fucking say this and this, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I promise you.
Right.
And then like all this stuff, and then like you're sitting in there with this really nice lady. She's like, so how's your time here? It's like, perfect. It's great. Yeah, like, I love it. So but so they created a little 3-day class that everybody has to go through now that officially marks the like, well, they had the training to get out, but it's like a dude in a tux that makes you wear a tux, like just so you can dress nice.
Yeah.
And then they run a YouTube video on like how to set up a portfolio, like a, you know, portfolio and how to get a job. And then like, but it's so dumb and does not work. So it's basically, it's flawed. So they don't really have anything. And then like, you know, it's like your other friends are getting out too, and they have their own different problems, and you're seeing them go through the VA and get their treatment, and like, sad to say, but like some friends killed themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I felt like I couldn't turn to the VA because all they do is give us pills. And it's like, you know, from like what I've done in San Diego and stuff, is like, I like pills, you know? So
Right.
like,
I don't necessarily need them.
yeah. And so like, that's why, you know, I don't go with that stuff. And after that, there's really nothing then. It's like, well, if you're not going to take the pills, then like, have fun. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
And is that stuff like when you get back to civilian life, like obviously if you're, you know, trained to like go outside the wire and like scan for IEDs everywhere and hear mortars going off all night, is that stuff that like you get back into civilian life and it's like there's like certain things that are like triggering?
Yeah. I mean,
like how difficult is that to turn off? Does that just stop one day? Does that fade away? Does that like stay with you?
I honestly, I think it's going to be like a forever thing, honestly.
Sure.
Like I still have my things today, and even when I got out there, it's ruined relationships and everything, you know. It's just because like it's so hard to turn off that alertness. I think it's just really a part of me now, you know. It's just like even to little tiny details where it's like if I walk in a room, if I sit down, I have to be like back against the wall, being able to see everything, and then like I'm scanning everything. It's like nobody moves in the room without me like noticing that, like just stuff like that, and all the classics, you know, like sleeping and you know, just all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's just like what I'm figuring out is like, I think it's really just up to you on how much you care about yourself to detangle that mess, you know, or like not necessarily a mess, but kind of figure out slow ways to make your mind more at ease. And there's many ways to do that. I like kind of did the grade school one, and I just been like smoking weed since the day I came out. That kind of helps me a lot. But yeah, so it kind of like, it's choose your own adventure. We see it all the time with veterans that are never, like the older generation especially, you know, they die with their feelings and pent up aggressions, and that scares me a lot now. You know, I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
Saw the damage it's done already in my personal life, and it's just like, I'm just tired of being like, woe is me. So, you know, it's like I've been in actual VA therapy for 2 years now, and just kind of going through it. So
Hell yeah.
Was that like one of the things that you were like, okay, I'm tired of living like this. Like
100%.
I need to seek that to, you know, help me through this.
100%. Yeah. And it came in different phases too, you know.
Sure.
It's just like I definitely had the phase of like sitting alone for a year, like this thinking that something would pick me up and, you know, do that. And then like you start recognizing patterns with like people and just the things you do. And it's just like, do I want to get better? Cause like no one's going to help you. So it's, you know, it's like, yeah, I do. Cause I want to be a better partner one day. You know, I want to be a better partner to myself and my dog and all that. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, mental defectives.
Would you like to advertise on our podcast?
If so, email us at mentaldefectivespodcast@gmail.com.
So we can help you make a lot of money.
A whole lot of money. So when did the barbering come in to the picture? If barbering is even a term?
Yeah,
you mentioned you had cut someone's hair when you were overseas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, like, funny story. I was I was engaged at some point in this cluster of madness, and
this would be one of the relationships that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Got you.
But she was actually a barber / cosmetologist. Okay. So I was kind of like around that a lot. And then actually the barber shop that I worked at in San Diego, one of our friends opened up a barber shop attached to it. So I was kind of just like around that a lot. And like, I think I finally made a decision when I was up on a roof. I was a house framer in Washington State after California. And I'm up on the roof, beautiful scene, all this stuff. And like, I just take a nail and I just put it through my fucking hand by accident. And then I just remember looking up to the sky. I was like, I'm not gonna labor anymore, bro. You know, I was like I'm not gonna be that guy. Yeah, I was like, I don't need this toughness no more. It was like threw down my hammer. And it's like,
I think being a Marine covers the
badassery, right?
Check that one off.
Yeah, and now I'm just in the deep woods with like the scariest backwoods dudes, like, you know, like trading war stories on how like hard they fell off a roof or something. I'm like, this isn't me, dude. I gotta go. So so I just like. I had a little bit of family in Ohio, Columbus, and decided just to finally move back home and go to barber school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the barber out by the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one of my buddies did that, and I would be the guinea pig to go out,
dude.
Because anyone like when you're in barber school, like. You know, you got to practice a lot.
Yeah,
and then so you're calling all your buddies like, hey, bro, come and get a free cut, get a free lineup. Like, or it's like $2 or whatever.
The people that have sat in my chair during that time, I will never forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm sorry.
Some people
Oh, my God. Yeah, like, it was bad.
You ain't getting a nail through the hands cutting someone's hair, though. I mean,
That's true. And I just complain about, like, you know, hair splinters and stuff. So
it's a hair splinter.
Oh, so basically when you cut hair like the size of like, you know, the little tiny hairs, they have the same hardness as steel, and then they just pierce your skin
when they're that small or whatever.
No shit. So like you'll get it like in your fingers, your eyeballs, or anywhere. And then like I had one on my ball sack one time, and then like,
oh my God,
if you don't get it, it can rot off your finger and stuff. So it's just like that's the hardest thing I'm doing right
God
now.
Damn.
But still, that's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Right.
Yeah.
Shit. And then, as I understand it, and this is when I'll excuse myself from the conversation, you're also a biker.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell
that
yeah.
I am.
Call me clutch.
Hell yeah, brother.
You go for it.
Call me many things.
What's your setup? You ride.
So it's actually kind
That's
of
a total
embarrassing
scare.
right now.
What's your setup you ride?
That's like a skateboard. That would be what you would ask a skateboard.
Yeah,
like, setup.
right.
Like
I was more of a BMX guy, kink, you know, all that stuff. But anyways,
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like honestly, I've been running this rat bike for a very long time, and I thought it was gonna blow up years ago. But it's a '98 Sportster, like chopped out, not really chopped. It's still like swing arm and all that, but yeah, that's what I'm riding. I'm gonna do a little build this winter, hopefully, and be a little cooler. I call it chopular. You know? So
Chopular.
yeah.
And you were telling us before we started filming about some story. Your cable clutch went out, and you're like between two semis in the middle of the night. Like
that was actually 2 weeks ago, and I was in Pittsburgh. You're like 3-hour drive, whatever. But we noticed it was like it's gonna rain tonight, but it's gonna hail tomorrow. And you're just like, you know, like, oh, all right, well, whatever. So we went to the Steelers game and then we left. And long story short, left at 6, got back at like 1:32 a.m. I was on the highway in West Virginia, and it was pouring raining. I don't have a front fender, so like the water just straight up,
right up.
Yeah, and I'm so fucking cool, so I don't have a full face.
Of course not.
And,
of course not.
And so like, you know, I'm just like, I don't know where I don't know. So and then yeah, like 2 semis like splash, like go up like beside me, splash. Something happens. I think it like knocked a gear or something. What? And then it just felt like it was in neutral the whole time. And then like, yeah, it was bad. So, but that's the fun part about motorcycles.
It
right?
is.
It's I don't know. I feel like the best stories are not the planned, like everything went perfect and we fucking just got back home, you know?
Yeah,
so
right. There's no story in that.
Yeah, and I just feel like tough as nails now. I'm like, that was a hard ride, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Shit was rough.
Yeah, dude. Like, so,
at what point, and this is a question for both of y'all, at what point of owning a motorcycle do you turn into Hulk Hogan?
oh, I mean,
Right away.
Yeah,
It's
Right
it's
away.
like, it's
Kind
like
of a
they
thing.
hand
You
you
have
the
a
keys and you're
motorcycle?
like, let's go, brother.
Yeah,
and you
go,
get the
brother.
bandanas and you grow
Yeah.
a
Well,
mustache.
that's the weird thing. I was baby faced before I hopped on my first Harley, and then it
just appears.
Oh,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
So
That checks out. You any motorcycle questions for him, Jerry?
No shit. No motorcycle questions. Really, I pretty much know them all. No.
How long has he been
No.
cutting your hair?
oh, he's
Not
he's
long.
nil. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So remember the long hair when I
Yeah.
had the long hair?
Yeah.
That was the first time I went to him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I've
wow.
known him for a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
But-
How long now? It's been
4 or 5 years, maybe.
since Moby Dick's been a minnow, dude.
Yeah, yeah, for a little while.
Yeah.
How'd you guys meet?
We had some mutual friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of those relationships I was talking about.
Yeah.
Ah.
Jen's friends, you know.
Got you,
Yeah,
got you,
yeah,
got
that
you.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're doing like the VA therapy. Do you see like what's that been like from like starting it to like now say like you're 2 years in? Obviously that's more of like a lifelong thing, but like are you seeing like I guess like I don't know like the results you were looking for like or like improvement along the way, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I remember like one like thing in every single relationship I've been in. You know, it's been like a shot match, like just go to therapy. And I was like, no, like that's weak, you know. And I finally did it, and it's like I remember my first appointment. It's this little tiny like small Middle Eastern girl. I was like, you're not ready for my attitude or anything. Like you're about to just get destroyed. Like I promise.
Yeah.
And then she is such a bitch in a good way where like she'll let me tell my story and then she'll just look like, how'd that go for you? You know, it's like, fuck you. But like she really broke me down, dude. And it's awesome because like it sounds so cliche, but like my biggest problem is disassociation and like I can't feel feelings, I guess. Like I think I've done a very good job in the past of blocking out everything. It's like I really couldn't feel at all. So it's like the past 2 years, like I love how much of a wimp I've become. You know what I'm saying? Like I can cry and I can like do all this stuff, and I'm really just finding all the genuine stuff. You know, it's like I'll be looking at like couples, like I don't get that at all. You know, but then like I think it's like the most beautiful thing in the world right now. It's like I see a fucking sad movie or a sad song, I will cry, like I will tear up now, and that's wild. So, but yeah, so like that really helped. Just kind of helped me navigate through my brain and all that stuff. Also, my big problem is my temper because I like to fight and I do some fighting sports and all this stuff. And I'm just realizing like when somebody's honking at me on the highway, they're not honking at my soul. You know, like they're like, you know, so it's just like, it just helps me understand like everything and everybody, you know, it's just like, and it's been really nice and smooth. And just like, I'm being able to find out like who's really there for you. Cause we all have friends that are fun, but maybe not healthy, you know? So stuff like that. So I think like, I'm just excited to move on. I think like I'm going to fire her soon and just do like a whole different type of therapy, you know, like
Yeah.
kind of dabbling with that because like at first she had me doing all the blinking dots and all the movie things like where were you so yeah so it's died down now.
Yeah.
We just gossip now, so I'm like ready for the next thing. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, you gotta keep working on your mental health, keep improving.
And that's the scary, but
right?
like
It doesn't stop.
yeah, and it's very discouraging. You're just like, oh, I can't like take a break or anything, but I think there's ways to make that journey like easier on yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you find your way. You find things like motorcycling, like healthy hobbies that you can. That's an outlet, I guess.
100%. That's not like hitting your wife or
Right.
like, like all the classic veteran stuff, you know, stuff like that. So
Right.
It's almost like it's progress, not perfection.
Oh, almost.
It's almost what it's like.
nah.
Hell yeah.
Ethan, what advice would you have for someone looking to join the Marines?
Don't. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's awesome. Just really like understand why you want to go in. Understand what you want to do, right? Because you're gonna go to a recruiter and they're gonna be on your side, but they have numbers to fill. That's like they don't care about you. They have certain numbers where they need to fill certain jobs, all this stuff. The way they got me too was just like I had a boot camp date and they like called me real fast like, hey man, we actually moved you up to right now. Let's go. But he was just really filling a hole that he needed. Yeah. So stick to your guns with that. Just like be very stern on what you want to do, and also look at different branches. Like the Marine Corps specifically, I do believe like if you're not going to be a lifer there, you're not going to be set up for a lot of things outside. Like there's a lot of stuff in like the Army and especially the Air Force too, where it's like you get out of the military with like degrees and like and like it looks so good.
Set
on your
you up for
resume.
something in civilian life. It seems like
100%.
Yeah.
And it's like I even cut this dude that's National Guard, and he does like something with like satellites, and then like instantly when he got out, he was worried, but now he works for NASA. So it's just like, like yes.
Right.
And then the Marine Corps, you can only be a cop. So think about that.
Sure.
So
that never interested you?
I have a code on my chin.
Oh shit!
That would disqualify me from being a cop. So, yeah.
Do you have any advice for somebody wanting to go into being a barber?
Yes. Don't. No. I already said that joke. Yeah, just like definitely do it. It's like decide what kind of barber you want to be. There's shops that like will set you up for healthcare and all this stuff. But if you want to be a traditional barber, like booth rent, independent contractor, which most of us like search to be basically. Yeah, just like go through. Don't be afraid. There's even if you haven't cut any hair at all before, like you'll definitely learn from the people around you. And my hard advice is barber school is hourly. So there's people like I've been a barber for like 8 or 9 years. There's people still there that I started with. You know what I'm saying? So like just hurry up. It sucks. Get it done. And then go out and start your barber career. Because barber school as a whole, man, like it's insane. So, like some even OD'd on the toilet. Like it's a prison yard there. So just keep moving.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
OD'd on the toilet in barber school.
Bro, his
what
ghost.
A way to go.
Yeah. Like his
Elvis
ghost
style.
is there. Yeah, it is insane. That's not even the wildest story. So
Damn.
yeah.
Ethan, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And then Jerry was telling me you were a big fan of the hardcore genre.
I am.
And I saw you post last week. You said your favorite 3 hardcore bands were Blink-182, Green Day, and the Jonas Brothers. Do you still stand by that? It's the Mental Defectives podcast. Milligram, Jerry with a G, Ethan. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. Peace.
He got me.